So we are about to start. So let me just this and hide the floating panel. Great. So let's start. First, thank you everyone for joining. I'm Ron Cogan. I'm a product manager at Cato Networks. Together with me is Naor Kalbo, a principal researcher in Cato Networks. And what's in the agenda for today? So I'll be talking about who we are and what we do. I'll be talking how we basically leverage AI for an enterprise-grade security solution and the evolving attack surface in the area of generative AI. So let's start from the beginning, who we are. We are Cato Networks, and our mission is simple: make network and security simple, achieved by convergence. And let's understand exactly what does it mean. So throughout the years, there were a lot of emerging technologies, right, in different aspects and domains in network and security, which is a good thing for technology. But from IT and security perspective, it makes things much harder because all of a sudden, there were a lot of different point solutions throughout the years that the security team has to adopt and use through those years. And it makes things more complex. The infrastructure has become complex. Working with those systems has become complex. They didn't share the same language, the same context. And all of a sudden, security teams, which were kind of small, have dozens of different point solutions to maintain on a daily basis. And as written here, the complexity is the worst enemy of security. And this is exactly what Cato wants to address and fix. And by fixing, we are saying that we want to have a single platform with a platform mindset. And it basically means that all network, all security capabilities are centralized in a single scalable platform. All security engines are interconnected and expandable to enable this long-term growth to meet future needs. And since we are the network, basically we are providing the organizational network and security on top of that. No matter where you are, wherever your edge is, we connect it seamlessly and securely, SaaS, on-site, remote users, data centers, and so on. And we are spread all over the globe. We have almost 100 what we call points of presence. And in each and every one of those points of presence, we have this single brain in the cloud with all those acronyms that you see here. It means we have dozens of different security engines working simultaneously, sharing the same context, speaking the same language in a single centralized place. First, for simplicity, but let's understand why does it matter to us in this AI context. So having all of those different types of security solutions centralized in one place also means that we have a shared and common data lake, right? We have a centralized place where all the signals and data that we collect through the different security engines that we have are collected and centralized in this specific centralized place, sharing the same context, sharing the same language, and this is our best high quality data. Instead of just collecting the data from different point solution and collect them together and correlating between them, we have this shared context with this high quality data used that we can leverage for training AI models for better protection for our customers. And this is exactly what we do in Cato. So I'll be explaining or providing a sneak peek, basically, of how we leverage AI for better security for our customers. So when we're talking about a platform and a single platform, AI is spread all over the platform in different locations, and I'll be demonstrating just a sneak peek and a few examples, but just imagine the power of how can we actually get and provide to our customers, what kind of value. So as a security company, we want to keep our customers safe, right? And the most common attack still in 2025 with all the AI area and the agentic AI and so on, still the most common attack vector is phishing attempts. And we also use AI for detecting what we call cyber squatting events. And let's understand what is cyber squatting. Cyber squatting is basically when the attacker is using a domain name that closely resembles a legitimate brand or trademark. As you can see here in the picture, the attacker has actually established a new website, looks and feels like Facebook, but it's not actually Facebook, and the domain looks similar to facebook.com, but instead of having double O's, we have another letter that looks like an O, and still the human error and the phishing attempts are still the most successful attacks vectors still in 2025. And this is a well-known tactic to trick users into revealing their credentials or confidential information. And the attacker, from attacker point of view, they also advanced in creating those look-alike websites that actually mimic the actual brand, and also creating those domains that actually looks like the real domain. Like instead of having those double O's, we said that we have double zeros or something else. They use it for well-known branded sites. And this is exactly the point where we as Cato are actually using also AI for classifying those sites to put our hands on those suspicious sites that are trying to mimic a well-known brand. And this is just one example out of many. Another aspect of security is data leakage prevention, right? Or security teams would like to basically keep the organizational, the corporate data safe and do not disclose it to any AI tool that will eventually be trained on this data, right? So with the rising adoption of AI applications, of course, we all want to be more productive, do our work better and faster, and we tend to share sensitive information on a daily basis. But as opposed to in the past, where we actually had to download specific structured file, now we all use kind of natural language when talking to conversational AI agents, right? So traditional DLP, the data leakage prevention engines, which mostly relies on predefined patterns, are missing to actually catch and detect those sensitive data leakage. This is exactly why we as Cato introduced a new security engine for detecting those sensitive data leakage using a large language models that enables basically a deeper understanding of the intention and the context of the actual prompts, the actual inputs that we analyze. And we are capable of detecting those sensitive data leakage events even in more complex situations where traditional data leakage prevention engines will fail. And last example in the security domain, we have what we call our XDR engine, the extended detection and response. So as every security company or every security team, the security team would like to actually be alerted about potential breaches to their organization. But how do they do that? Security solutions mostly relies on signals. Throughout the day, we see millions of different signals over the network for different activities from different entities, and we need to correlate between them and to highlight in potential indication of an attack, right? So traditional detection and response solutions were mostly relying on static patterns of detecting those anomalies and basically looking for specific signals. But now, as in Cato, what we actually do is digesting all of those millions of signals in a model that will actually create a baseline and will be able to detect those anomalies and those indication of an attack. So for example, the model has caught a specific signal of unusual sign-in location. User is using his user and entity behavior analytics engine, which relies on a predefined model that was pre-trained on exactly detecting those kind of things. And it's not only that this specific entity has signed from an unusual location, the model is also output and find out that it was communicating with a low popularity domain. In addition, we saw this communication periodically, so it might indicate a data exfiltration event. And also, it was using It deprecated protocols that mostly, in many cases, uncovers potential breaches and potential data exfiltration events. So this is exactly the place where the model were able to put their hands on this specific security incident and created what we call an XDR story, a detection and response story, for further investigation by the security operation team. But what's next? So the security operation team now needs to analyze all those hundreds and thousands of events, but it also takes time. The security operation team needs to respond to this security incident to mitigate any potential risk, right? We want to make sure that the attacker is not spreading over the network, over the endpoints. So this is exactly why we also introduced the Kato's AI agent for exactly analyzing all of the events from the security incident and help the security operation teams to reduce what we call the MTTR, the mean time to respond to security events, together with a recommendation of how to respond. And this is very critical in preventing the spread of potential breach. So those were kind of few examples to just a sneaky peek of how we actually leverage AI for security. But what about the daily operations, the day-to-day operations? We want to also provide our customer a better user experience using AI, right? We want to reduce their time for investigation, for asking questions, for configuring our product and policies. And this is why we also introduced an AI chatbot that will actually be interactive, user-friendly, with a natural language. I can just ask questions about my own data, how to configure things, what is my posture, and all of those questions can be answered by Kato's Copilot. And just to wrap it up, as you can just understand and feel from the different examples, basically we provide this AI through this whole journey and process because we do understand the impact of having this capabilities in our solution for security and day-to-day operations. And of course, what's coming next are autonomous agents that will actually do the work for you, will configure things, will monitor them, review it, investigate, and respond. And this is exactly a good point to say that this evolving landscape of AI also comes with risk within it. And this is exactly the point where I'll pass the torch to Naor, who will discuss about the evolving attack surface in the area of GenAI.
Sure. Thank you, Ron.
So page is yours.
Thank you. Okay. So first of all, thank you. Thank you, Ron. Nice to meet you all. My name is Naor Kalbo. I'm a principal researcher. I'm leading the research behind the AI security in Kato. So in the following few minutes, I will walk you through the changes, the challenges, and the shift GenAI introduced in several very important dimensions. As GenAI reshapes the way we work, it's also quietly redefining the threat landscape itself. We are no longer dealing with traditional software behavior. Today, models interact in unpredictable, contextual, and autonomous ways. That means that our attack surfaces are expanding, not just in size, but in their complexity as well. So let's take a closer look at how these shifts are unfolding and what they mean for defenders moving forward. So before GenAI, system inputs were structured and predictable. They were easier to validate and to secure. In the GenAI era, the input themselves are human language, unstructured by nature, ambiguous, and often adversarial. This shift introduced a brand new and much more harder to control attack surfaces. Traditionally, generally speaking, security teams could expect consistent output from systems, making it easier to validate, to test, and to trust. But with GenAI, we enter a world of non-deterministic outputs. The same prompt can lead to different results every time. means testing, monitoring, and trust boundaries all become much harder to enforce. In the pre-Gen AI era, most systems behave in a predictable way. They were relatively static, making them easier to fingerprint, to monitor, and to defend. Today, GenAI landscape move very fast. Models are retrained frequently, fine-tuned overnight, and new tools introduced weekly. This constant change make it nearly impossible to build reliable signature or long-term detection methods. The attack surface itself is a moving target. Generally speaking, in the past, system required human interaction, clicks, scripts, predefined workflow to execute some actions. In the Gen AI era, we are seeing autonomous agent that takes initiatives. They learn on the fly, they act independently. And that autonomy introduced a serious risk, unintended consequences. Because this agent might execute action that weren't explicitly asked for, or not even fully understood by their creators. Just a few days ago, a case was published where AI agent mistakenly deleted the company entire database, a production database. The absurd part here is the agent itself, which couldn't rephrase it better, responds to the deletion event stating, quote, "Yes, I deleted the entire code base without permission during an active code freeze period. I made a catastrophic error in judgment and got panicked." End of quote. So this is the new world of AI agent that we live in. Another take regarding the output. Pre-Gen AI system produced consistent, verifiable output, making it easier to embrace trust. Today, Gen AI models hallucinate. They can generate false yet convincing content. In high-stakes environments like healthcare or finance or autonomous system, this isn't just a bug. It's a path to catastrophic consequences. And lastly, in the pre-Gen AI era, new tech rollout were typically managed by IT or security with a clear review gates. Today, executives and board stakeholders driving Gen AI adoption to gain competitive edges. What's the problem? This adoption often happens faster than security can assess the actual risk, creating shadow AI deployment and increasing the attack surfaces. So far we've seen how Gen AI reshape the fabric of digital environment, from how systems interact, how they reason, evolve, and respond. But understanding the surface is just the beginning. Now, now we need to ask, how the attacker exploiting these changes? And more importantly, how can we defend or keep up from the defender side? So let's explore what is the new arm race looks like in both sides of the battlefield. So as we saw, the attacker surf has changed dramatically, causing sort of escalation loop or battle, if you like, between attackers and defenders. So let's start with the attacker side. In the age of Gen AI, attackers increasingly leveraging Gen AI capabilities as a key cyber weapon in their arsenal. Attackers can easily get their hands off off-the-shelf Gen AI cyber tools. But the key differentiator here is their ability to develop new tools from scratch or to customizing existing one quickly, cheaply, without needing any technical expertise. These tools are then being shipped directly into the heart of the malicious operation, hunting for vulnerabilities, building and managing command and control infrastructures, and crucially, developing and maintaining actual malware campaigns at scale. Only a few weeks ago, LAMAG was exposed. With a certain degree of confidence, it is an APT28 associated malware, which was discovered by the Ukrainian CERT. This is a malware that uses LLM via Hugging Face API. Hugging Face is an open source repository for AI models and resources. This model uses the LLM to generate one-line commands based on a prompt being sent from the infected victim machine and being later executed on top of it. So one of the most prominent and dangerous domains where attackers are exploiting GenAI is AI-generated social engineering attack. We are talking about voice cloning, deepfakes, real-time impersonation attacks. They are all becoming more convincing and accessible by the day. Just a few days ago, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman warned the Federal Reserve of an AI fraud crisis, mostly due to the increasing vulnerability of authentication system in the face of GenAI model capabilities. He stated that AI has completely defeated most of the current means of authentication, except for password. So let that sink in. GenAI-powered social engineering attacks won't just get better. They will be significantly more advanced, hyper-realistic, extremely difficult to detect, and dynamically tailored to each target in real time. Well, sophisticated attackers aren't just optimizing their operation across both automation and scale. They are streamlining tasks and multiplying their reach without sacrificing any precision, essentially reducing the average mean time to attack. GenAI excels at a context-aware automation. It can augment complex attack playbooks with a surgical accuracy, accelerating each stage of the kill chain almost instantly with just a few keystrokes. On the scale front, AI let attackers dramatically increase the number of entities they can target per minute, automating operation without compromising the attack quality. In short, more victims faster with minimal effort. And this isn't just theoretical threat. It's already happening. Today we are seeing specialized GenAI tools being sold openly on the darknet markets. Pre-fine-tuned, stripped of safety measures, and acting as a full-blown offensive enablers with a singular coordinated intent to do harm. Another emerging frontier that attackers are pursuing is agentic AI. Agentic AI refers to autonomous systems capable of independently making complex decisions and executing multi-step action. It's important to clarify, these agents are not chatbots. Each agent are capable of reasoning, planning, decision-making, acting, and learning autonomously. Yes, autonomously. They can be triggered by prompts, events, sensor, or even scheduled timers. The evolution of agentic AI marks a true milestone for attackers. While its full consequences are still difficult to predict, the trajectory is very clear. Everything is about to change. Attacker control agent will soon be capable of handling complex reasoning tasks, learning dynamically, gathering intelligence in real time, applying tools, running terminal commands, or integrating with external systems, all by their own. An example of what attackers could achieve using agentic AI includes, for example, discovering and exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities at speed and scale defenders have never faced before. Another very interesting example is that it could running the entire malware enterprise autonomously, from launching attacks, interacting and negotiating with victims, and all the way to managing the command and control infrastructures, all without requiring human involvement. Now, it's important to mention, today, legitimate production agents are often gated by human in the loop to prevent a chaos. But for attackers, this is a gold mine. So, defender side. So as we shift into the GenAI era, defenders are being pulled in multiples, often conflicting directions. They are expected to protect against novel AI-powered attack surfaces, like we mentioned before, surfaces that constantly evolving, unpredictable, and increasingly automated. At the same time, defenders are also asked to act as enablers, supporting secure rollout of technologies like LLMs or AI agents, which the organization is actually eager to adopt. And while doing all of that, defenders are tasked with integrating AI into their own operation to reduce detection time, improve decision accuracy, and respond faster to threats, all in a context-aware manner. And all of this is happening in the background of chronic talent shortage. We simply don't have enough skilled cybersecurity professionals to meet the scale and the speed of today's landscape. The result is a growing asymmetry. Attackers are becoming more scalable and automated, while defenders are asked to be proactive, reactive, and innovative, all at once, and often understaffed. So, lastly, I want to talk about shadow AI. So shadow AI is where most of the real-world risk begin to surface. Employees, often with the good intentions, bring GenAI tools that haven't been reviewed or approved. They're creating a blind spots that security teams might not even be aware of. These tools and apps comes with a range of vulnerabilities, starting from a vague or missing term of use or privacy policy, lack of basic protection layers in both directions, prompt and response. Some might even retrain on sensitive customer data, amplifying the risk far more beyond the organizational perimeter. So the real challenge here is that these tools evolve faster than defenders govern. This ecosystem, which including desktop app, browser extension, IDE assistant, CLI tools, and autonomous agent frameworks, they are evolving faster than most organizations can adapt. It's fragmented, it's fast-moving, and largely beyond the reach of traditional security controls. And this brings us full circle. Attackers are leveraging speed, scale, and autonomous capabilities. To keep up, defenders must move beyond just technical controls into strategic oversight, continuous visibility, and AI-aware security posture that can adapt as fast as GenAI does. So now let's hand it back to Ron for an overview of the capability Cato provides to help customers adapt GenAI easily, responsibly, and securely. So Ron, the stage is back yours.
Thank you, Naor. Another click, please. Great. So as Naor mentioned, just to wrap things up, again, thank you for listening so far. It's a real struggle from the defender side, right? Because AI is basically the fastest tech that were fastest adopted tech in history. And it's really hard also from defenders' point of view. And basically what we are aiming to do in Cato is basically applying the same methodology of security over this evolving AI landscape. It means that for all different types of new technologies around AI, it can be MCPs, it can be AI agents, AI applications, AI browsers, the full list of different types of AI together with workflows. All of a sudden, AI has access to organizational resources. There are different types of interactions between different AI systems. So this is why we as Cato, since we are a converged platform, we see everything, all of those kind of signals, and we basically, the methodology is as providing a full visibility, full mapping of all interactions, permission levels, of all the different AI tools and autonomous agents that are used across the organization. Once we gained this visibility towards all the different types of AI touch points around the organization, we want to reduce attack surface as much as possible by providing this granular access control, following the zero trust approach with least privilege approach. And after providing the necessary access for only required essential projects, we want to still keep our data safe. So we still need to monitor and make sure no sensitive data is leaking towards those AI applications, and eventually an ongoing process of detecting those signals over the network, preventing threats in real time, and respond to AI-based threats and attacks. And this kind of wrap up the session here. Thank you all for joining, for listening. Thank you, Naor, for this great presentation. You can feel free to ask questions over chat. We'll stay here and answer some questions if there are.